Hi, everybody. I thought I would take a few minutes to go over your midterm, which will occur next week. It's week, let's see, 6 of the semester, and it'll be dates September 28th through October 2nd. You will have all week to work on this midterm. It really and truly follows a very similar format to your weekly modules, so it shouldn't require more time than you typically spend on our class in any given week. The difference is you're going to have a product that will be useful for the teachers in our partnership network. And you all know that our partnership network is all of the schools and all of the teachers that we work with as Winthrop. They host you in your early clinicals, they host you in those middle field placements, and then of course they're hosting many of you right now in Internship 1 placements. They are shifting to this remote learning environment just as we are, and we thought instead of having you make these ephemeral products that really kind of sit somewhere in a repository, that it would be nice for you to make things that our actual partnership network teachers are asking for. So you're going to create something like a reusable learning object. Sometimes we call it an RLO. Sometimes they're called learning modules, but you're going to create something that can be used by P12, pre-kindergarten, through 12th grade students to learn. It's exciting. So what you're going to do is make a copy of this document, and I'm going to turn it into a force copy, so you have to make a copy of it to even open the document up. You'll want to add it to your Google Drive. You just click that button up there that's got the little plus sign on it, and it'll automatically add it to your Google Drive. And you are going to select a need from this request chart. Now, this request chart has all of the grade levels, as well as the content areas, and then the support that they're requesting. Some are very specific asks, and some are very general. So if you see here, this is grade 5 subject area, all, and they want virtual, creating virtual math support or creating virtual content. Basically anything you could fathom is here in this chart. And like I said, some of them are a little bit more specific and some are very, very general. And it goes all the way up to 9th through 12th grade. We've got art, theater, music. Everybody needed something, so that's great. So you'll select what it is that you are wanting to work on and just let me know what that is in your chart. Now, be smart about this. That whole work smart, not hard. Do that. If you're in a 4th grade internship right now and you're getting ready to study fractions in math, well, work on creating some sort of math materials, and then what you select would fall under lines 28, create virtual content, or 29, creating virtual content for grade 4. Math falls under that. So in that way, you'd be able to use your product that you create for 305 in your internship, and then it works for your midterm, and then we can also share it with the partnership network teacher that requested math manipulatives in a virtual format. So see how that works? Boom, boom, boom. Check all the boxes. So what you're going to create, you might know it more as like a hyperdoc. So it might be something that ends up looking like this. This is a science example. This is, they study this in 5th grade and then again in middle school and then again in high school biology. This is probably more upper elementary, middle school geared just from the font and all that. Plant and animal cells. So discover the difference. If you click here, there's an article linked that describes the difference between plant and animal cells. They find a picture of an animal cell and insert here. Same for plant. Then they scroll down. Watch this funny video. Fill out this form, and they've linked a form here. Excuse me. Tutorial on Google Draw. And then create a plant or animal cell using Google Draw. So see, the teacher has supplied the content in multiple formats, right? Here's pictures, here's an article, here's a video. And then now the students are trying to apply what they learned. And then they're going to share something they learned on a slideshow, much like you guys do every week in 305. And then they're going to reflect on their learning. How cool is that? It's the whole kit and caboodle in one HyperDoc. Here's one for tone. I would say this is more upper middle, maybe high school. Do you know what tone is? They've linked to some examples. Still don't understand? Here's another set of examples. Okay, I'm going to check and make sure you understand what tone is. So tone is, and you fill it in this box. Now supply some examples. Okay, now we're going to apply your learning to an actual poem. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. You see the stanzas here. Then the teacher is having them break it up. Stanza 1, what was it? Stanza 2, what was it? You struggling? You need help? Check here. So it's got some scaffolding built right in. And then it walks them through a few more things. Here's a math example. And see, these all look a little bit different. So depending on your grade level, it might have more writing or less writing and more pictures. So just kind of think about what your students would need developmentally and make it fit what your grade level would need. So here's a math example. You've got some models that they can practice with. They click right here. Here they can read a book. And of course, we have to watch a book being read. You know how much I love to read. And this links to a reading of How Much is a Million? So they've got all of these activities, and then the teacher has the rules right here in the middle. Make a copy of this document. Now, he gives them the instructions for making a copy. Please know that you can force a copy. And guys, if you don't know how to do that, truly Google is your friend. Google it. How do I force copy in a Google Doc? And then you've got instructions to do that. So if you force your students to make a copy, then when they open it, they have to press make a copy before they can type anything in. And that just helps keep students from editing your original document. So it might be something you want to consider. And then the instructions here, complete as many of the squares as you can. Use the fill tool to color it in once you've finished it. If you need a little bit more, if you need a good challenge, hey, click here. See, this is a forced copy. You can make a copy, add it to your own Google Drive. I clicked on it earlier, so we'll show you. Yeah, it's not gonna work. All right, here we go. So we click on it, and it's got the questions and a place for them to put the answer. They've got a video linked. So you can see what I mean here by HyperDoc and how it walks them through the whole process. It is a reusable learning object, or an RLO, because once you create it, you can use it every year with your students if it's accurate and applicable. You can have your students use this as a home learning activity on one of their home learning days while we're still in this hybrid model. If you end up teaching in a virtual school, again, it would be a very useful tool. So save these when you're done with them. Don't ditch them. You're going to fill out the grade level, the content area. So I showed you an example for ELA, for science, and for math. Directions for use. What would you tell your students? The directions are embedded in the HyperDoc as well. And then a link to your product. So if this is your product, you're going to copy the link and you're going to put it right here on this document. You have to tell me what your SC Learning content standard is. You'll put it there. You can just copy and paste. And you need to also tell me what ISTE standard applies. Now, guys, your ISTE standards are super general. If you pull this down, I mean, you can truly see that they apply across content areas. If you're making a digital activity, you will find something here that would apply for an ISTE standard. So figure out which standard in ISTE best meets your activity. And ISTE stands for International Society for Technology and Education. And copy and paste that here. Tell me what tool you're using. I'm assuming most of you will use a hyperdoc. Maybe you want to use an infographic to lay this reusable learning object out, or this learning module, whatever you'd like to call it. If you have another idea, please let me know. And then tell me why you chose that particular tool. I did link here a really great resource. This is HyperDocs. They've got lots of examples in every content area right down here, so you can look through those if you're not quite sure how you want to get started. Now, your materials must be aligned with our course concepts that we've learned thus far. One of them needs to be universal design for learning. So how does your product meet the needs of universal design for learning? What is your justification there? And then 2 other course concepts, and I put a list of what we've covered in case you need a reminder. Your annotated bibliographies are going to be super helpful here. And then reflect on what you learned, what you did. This is using technology, right? So you're going to run into some obstacles. How did you solve that? I'm telling you, Google it, right? Like if you get stuck in, we talked about the forced copy and you can't remember how to do that, Google it. If you don't know how to get started making a hyperdoc, you can Google, how do I get started making a hyperdoc? You can use the resources that I've linked to this document as well. But please know that there are so many just different resources out there that you have access to. And of course, you can email or call me as well. So reflect, and then you're going to submit the link to this document to Blackboard in our midterm module. You're just going to copy it from up here. Because don't forget, the link to your activity, your product is up here. So I don't need that link. I need the link to this document that has all the reflective pieces. And guys, your rubric is right here attached to the same document. If you have any questions on this, please let me know. I said I wouldn't post it until Monday, but I'm going to go ahead and post it Friday because I know some of you work on your 305 stuff during the weekend. So it'll be posted Friday by lunchtime, and you'll have access to it throughout the week. Your product is going to be due Friday by midnight. And I did say 5 o'clock in your syllabus, but I'm going to give you the whole day like I normally do in a typical module. I'm not going to change that up. So you'll have until midnight to get it submitted in Blackboard. And let me know if you have any questions. You all take care of yourselves. Be kind. Be well.